So today I'm diving back into the world of one of my personal favourite directors, Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon, he's done a lot of great stuff over the years. I still haven't caught up on all of it. I mean, for the stuff that I have seen, I personally love the first two Avengers movies, Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron, I admit, possibly isn't as good as the first one, but I still love it. In 2015, of course, I got Firefly and ended up watching that through, and this year I finally got through and finished Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And of course, Buffy is now made onto my list of my top 10, or actually my top 4 TV shows. I absolutely love that series. But there's still more to to the Whedonverse. I mean, some people classify Toy Story as part of the Whedonverse, seeing as he was apparently on the creative team for it. I and ah on that, but there's no doubt Toy Story is a great film. But the one that I've going to recently, I ordered, it arrived today, I've started watching it, Dollhouse. Now, for those who don't know, Dollhouse was a series that ran from 2009 to 2010. It only lasted 2 seasons, which I know some fans are a little bit disappointed about. I mean, Buffy, it seems, was the exception. Buffy managed to go on for 7 seasons. I think they originally intended to stop it at 5, but then stuff happened, they eventually went on to 7. But Firefly only got 1, and Dollhouse only got 2. So, yeah. But having sat down and watched the first episode through, Ghost, I actually feel this is a series that I do think I could get into. The basic setup for it is you've got a character who supposedly is named Caroline Farrell, but everyone just calls her Echo. She's played by Eliza Dushku. She is part of the Dollhouse project. Essentially, what Dollhouse is that you've got a load of people who they're volunteers. They volunteered for this, and they seemingly have their memories wiped of their original lives. So they live in one big house and they're kind of like childlike and innocent, but then they can also be implanted with new memories and new experiences and sent out on certain missions or for people to hire. You could hire them from anything from to help with certain situations to just having a friend to. I think you could even stretch as far as prostitution, which I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah, you could basically hire them to do anything, from helping, from helping to save someone from a difficult situation to if you just want to hire a friend for the night or somebody to talk to. They're known as actives. They have their minds wiped, and then they can be implanted with new memories and new experiences, and then when that's done, they wipe the memories once again and start afresh. Which, it is kind of an interesting premise. Supposedly, the premise about most of the show is that while Echo is is one of these actives, she does have her memory wiped and can go through experiences. She does does remember pieces of her previous life, which makes her different. I don't know. I'll see when I get into the probably into the show. I mean, as I said, for now I've only seen the first episode, Ghost, and for the first episode, I admit it's pretty good, which shows Echo being given a set of circumstances and sent to help out essentially with a hostage situation. I mean, you've got someone who I think is a politician, but his daughter gets kidnapped by a group of people, and they say they want $4 million in return for giving her back. However, there is also problems with the situation, as it's not just another person's memories that have been filed into the actives, but it's a combination of them, a combination of skills built together so that when they're all slotted together, they create the perfect operative. However, Echo's mishmash for this also includes a woman who was attacked, and the person who she's having to get the daughter back from is one of the person's attackers. They apparently kidnapped her and then apparently killed her later on. So she has those memories backed out and just trying to deal with the situation. And it's actually rather fascinating to watch. I mean, for the first episode at least, there was also seemingly a previous episode that's kind of the actual pilot of it, which I haven't actually seen. But the first proper episode, Ghost, does also do a very good job of setting up. We have other characters in the series. I mean, you've got the head of the Dollhouse project, Adele Jewett, played by Olivia Williams, she's kind of cold about the situation, given that what needs to be done, even if it's not the most ethical scenario. You've also got Echo's handler, Boyd Langton, played by Harry Lennox, who I kind of sense that maybe he has a kind of fatherly instinct towards Echo, possibly since he's been kind of handling her for so long that maybe he just feels like, just think this through. Do we really need to put her out in the field? But yeah, he seems like a likable character. You've also got her medical officer, Dr. Claire Saunders, played by Amy Acker, who I don't know necessarily what side she's on yet. Okay, maybe as I get deeper into the series, I'll find out. But I think she's kind of on the side of she knows too much. Like she's looking at Echo and is very suspicious of her. We've also got an FBI agent who seemingly knows about the Dollhouse project and is kind of on a mission to try and discover it and try to possibly shut it down, named Paul Ballard, played by Tamo Gjakaj. I probably butchered that name, I apologise. And you've also got a scientist named Topher Brink, played by Frank Kranz, who is said in the description of the series to have a god complex, which, yeah, I can kind of see. He's certainly got a lust for power from the situation, to be able to kind of wipe people's minds and then implant new ones. Yeah, I can see he has a bit of a power trip. But it certainly sets up well for the first episode, and one episode in, I kind of feel like, okay, this is Dollhouse. I think I could go into this. I mean, I don't know if I'll form as much of an emotional attachment to it as I did to Buffy, but you know what? I'm prepared to give Dollhouse a go, and I've loved pretty much all of Joss Whedon's works. I mean, I love the first two Avengers movies, I love Toy Story, even if I'm a little bit hazy about whether it's actually part of the Whedonverse. I personally love Justice League. I enjoyed Firefly, I loved Buffy, so you know what? I'm prepared to give Dollhouse a go. Well, there you go. I'll have to see if I can squeeze the rim and whether it'll end up pretty good for me. So anyway, I'll have to go and see. Anyway, until then, see ya.